If you are making music, but your income feels random, inconsistent, or just non-existent, this is why. Today, I'm showing you the exact one-page business plan I'm using to make $43,000 or more again in 2026, all from audio-based income streams. No labels, no huge audience, no luck, just math. Most producers don't fail because they're bad at music, or because they're not choosing the right income streams, or because they're not lucky enough or don't have the right connections. They fail because they never turn their music and their career into a system. So no, you don't need luck. You don't need a bunch of connections. You don't need a bunch of money to start. All you need is a system. And this entire plan fits on one page. And once you understand it, you're never gonna just have to hope or dream that you'll be able to make income from your business. So first, we have to understand the key mistake most producers and music creators make. A lot of producers chase income streams or actions instead of actually trying to solve a problem in the market. So a lot of people, they just think about their goal. Maybe their goal is to get a bunch of streams, a bunch of views, maybe it's to get placements, but this is actually a mistake. Instead of thinking of the goal, you wanna think about the problem that you're actually solving. So it's not just about having skills, it's about what those skills actually solve for real people. So this business plan is super simple. When I was in college, I had to write a bunch of different business plans, but in reality, what really matters is just these 5 things. So box number 1 is gonna be one core skill. So you wanna think about what's the one skill that you wanna base everything off of. So of course, as a music creator, you're gonna have to build a lot of skills. There's beat making, mixing, mastering, learning an instrument. Even to make content, there's filmmaking, editing. At the end of the day, let's think of one skill that you wanna build everything else around. So if all you really love to do is make beats, then beat making would be your core skill. If you really like the mixing process, then mixing would be your core skill. So the next thing is to have one offer. So what is an offer? Your main product or service. Next, we want one sales channel or one traffic source. After that, we want one conversion path. So this could be, if you're online, a sales funnel. It could be basically the main system that gets somebody from just knowing about you to actually getting your product or service. And finally, you want one revenue target or one goal. So as you can see, one skill, one offer, one traffic source, one sales path, one revenue path. That's it. So let's build it. So for one core skill, you don't have to focus on every single thing. Yes, you're gonna have to build a lot of skills in the process, but when you hone in on one core skill, that's gonna be the foundation of your business. So this could be beats, mixing and mastering. Maybe you enjoy making samples. Maybe you enjoy education. You know, there's a lot of different routes. But what is that one core skill that you're already really good at and you can easily build more of? So having this one skill is basically gonna be your leverage. So next is the one offer. So the thing a lot of people don't understand about business is people don't buy products or services. People buy outcomes. So when you go to the store and you buy some food, you're not just trying to buy food, you're trying to solve your hunger. And it's gonna be the same thing in this business. So if somebody's listening to music on Spotify, they're not just trying to listen to music on Spotify. They're actually trying to solve their boredom. Or maybe you produce for somebody. They're not actually just trying to buy that service, they're trying to make higher quality music. So basically, you want to craft your offer around this problem or pain point. So there's really 3 things that you have to answer when it comes to one offer. So first, you want one target. So specifically, who is this product or service for? You don't actually want to just target everybody because not everybody has the same problem. You basically want your target audience or your target client or target customer to be as specific as possible. So you don't just want to say, oh, my offer, I want to help the community or the producer community. Make it more specific. You can say, I specifically want to help bedroom producers making beats in FL Studio that specifically want to sell beat leases online. Those are the people I'm going to help. See how specific that was? And now I can easily, it makes all of this a lot easier. So pretty much don't try to target everybody. Try to make one specific person. I list out all their traits, what they think about, what their problems are, where they hang out, what kind of content do they watch. You can even give them a name. So you're actually thinking about it as one specific person. And so next, obviously, and that leads me into my next point, which is it has to be one problem. So again, there's a lot of problems you can solve, but what's the biggest problem for the person you're thinking about? But again, you want to make it as specific as possible. Your offer has to answer what results it's going to bring. You know, what's the transformation? Because you figured out who you're targeting, you figured out what problem you're solving. Now you have to communicate that exactly to them. So again, instead of saying, okay, I make beats, you say, I offer a wide range of beats specifically for rappers so they can just go to the studio and make a bunch of music that's going to blow them up on Spotify. So like I said before, people don't buy products or services, they buy the results. So even this video right now, You didn't click on it because you want to be entertained. You clicked on it because you want to figure this out. And there's a clear problem that you're having that you want to solve. Now, the next thing is one traffic source. So what does that mean? Essentially, if you have the skill, you have the offer, you need people to actually see the offer. So if you're online, that could look like picking one social media platform to make content on. Or if you're in person, that could be finding one thing you could do to meet people that will get your service. So online, you've got YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, email. In person, you've got open mic events, artist get-togethers. There's so many different ways to get traffic, but it's really important here that you focus on one. This is the biggest mistake that I made, is that, see, it can seem really logical that, well, if I do all the traffic sources, that should technically increase my chance of getting more customers or clients. But in reality, getting this traffic source to work is a skill. And like any skill, it actually takes a lot of time to build that, especially when there's such high competition. So the problem is when you do all of them, if I'm doing YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, email, and I'm doing in-person events, now my attention is split between all 5. And the problem is you have to get really good to actually get good traffic. So if you're just mediocre at 5 different traffic sources, yeah, you're going to be doing a lot of work, but you're not going to get any results. So focus on one, at least at first. And then once you see that's actually getting results, then you can expand. Next, you want one sales path. So think about basically what the process looks like from someone becoming a stranger, just you actually being able to help them and them getting your product or service. So the money path looks like this, and you can even write this in your business plan. So you've got traffic. So this is basically like impressions, basically people seeing you. If you're in person, this could be people you talk to. And right here, they're strangers. Next is to nurture. So basically, you take this stranger and you get them familiar with you. You help them in some way. Maybe it could be you're helping them with something free. Maybe you're learning more about them. And then next is conversion. So that's them actually going from a stranger, them getting to really know you, and them actually getting your product or service. So online, this could look like content, some kind of free value, and then them getting to your sales page and actually getting it. Or in real life, it could be you meet them at an event, you talk to them, get their number, get their Instagram, talk to them a bit, figure out what their problem is, and then you pitch them your idea. And you basically, in the beginning, you want to make this as simple as possible. You want one clear way that you're getting traffic, one clear way that you're nurturing those people, and then one clear place that they can actually get your product or service. You want to make it as simple and streamlined as possible. That's it. And finally, you want one revenue target. So here we're actually going to map out the exact income stream and exactly how much we need to reach our goal. So let's do the math that changes everything. So let's say you want to make $3,600 a month. That's about $43,000 a year before taxes. So what you're going to do, you're just going to list your income streams. Then after the income stream, you'll list the exact price of each, and then how many do you actually need to sell. So let's say you're taking on production clients. Say you want to produce, or let's say you mix and master, right? So let's just say mixing and mastering. And each time you do that, you're charging $250. So to get to that revenue goal, you're going to need, if you actually do the math, which is just, 3,600 divided by 250, you're going to need at least 15 a month to reach that number. Or the same thing at a different price. Let's say you charge 500, now you only need 8 clients per month. So basically income, it's not magic. It's not some secret strategy or luck. It's just straight up the numbers. And then once you have this, you figure out a system. How are we going to get 8 clients per month? So now this goal is actually achievable. Instead of just looking at this like, how the heck am I going to do that? Well now, all you need to do is get 8 clients. So the reason this works so well is because, as you could tell, we were really focused. So being so focused eliminates decision fatigue. It forces you to get real clarity. It turns creativity into an actual structure that you can follow, and you can actually just start executing. So what are the actual steps you can take? Well, you can just write out your simple business plan. You start out with your core skill, then you write out your main offer. And again, in the offer, we thought about our one client. And remember, in the offer, we thought about our one target, the one problem we're solving, and what results can we actually get them. Then we have our traffic source. So how are you actually going to get people to learn about you? One conversion path, and then finally one revenue goal. So instead of just shooting in the dark, you know the exact results you need to get to reach your income goal. Now you pretty much have the foundation right here that you really need, like I said, make a full-time income. I can also show you why producers stay stuck, what actually turns production skills into income, and the step-by-step business system that makes it predictable. I go into all of that in the Modern Music Creator Academy. So make sure you check that out. I'm consistently gonna keep updating it with more videos, templates, sample packs, everything that's gonna help you on your journey. But for now, if you really want more detail, you need to watch this video next. So I'll see you there.